Hello, 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 everybody. Hi. Hi, Robin. How are you? Thank you for stopping in. Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Also, thank you and hello to everybody that will be watching the replay. I know there will be quite a few people watching the replay, and I do appreciate that. And I just want to say hello and thank you so much for the support. So, I am in here today, and you see a big smile on my face. So, hi, Becky. How are you? Becky from Texas, Robin from Maryland. Thank you for stopping in. So, got a few people watching. I see the numbers are clicking. Hi, Terry. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. And so apparently they're watching from the background, not into the chat, but that's okay. I'm glad that you are watching. Hopefully, you will come into the chat just for a little bit. Hi, Taisha. Thank you for stopping by. Um, Appreciate that. And there will be a few more people coming in. As usual, I kind of like to wait until about 10 after to give everybody a good chance to get in, get settled, get your wine. As you know, this is Shirley's Wine Down Tuesday, so you need to have a glass of wine or some type of libation or bottle of water, whatever suits your fancy, and join in so you can participate with the drinking. Hi, Leslie. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes, we got a few things to talk about tonight, and I'm pretty um, excited to do so. Excited to do so. The numbers are steady crawling up, so I guess I got a lot of people that are watching again in the background, but that's okay. I don't care about that being in the background. It would be great if you were um, coming up into the chat. Hopefully, some of you will um, stop into the chat, but if you don't, that's okay. No problem. No problem. Hi, Kingsbury Craft. Hello from Birmingham, Washington. Um, Gail Beer 30 here. Okay. And I know where that is because I used to live in Kent. So, been in that area, if I'm not mistaken, Kent, Washington. I lived in Kent outside of Seattle, right there at SeaTac. So, hello and welcome. And Joyce, how are you? How you doing? How's your machine? I understand that you had to get some tooling done to it. So I hope everything is working well with your machine now. Okay, you say it's close. Yeah. Yeah, it's close. Like I said, I do remember a little bit. It's been a minute. I was up there in '96 with my other career when I was a pharmaceutical rep had me up in that area. So I was kind of going all over the place at the time. But it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful part of the country. If nobody's been to the Pacific Northwest, you owe it to yourself to have some type of some type of opportunity to go. So hopefully that will happen if you're interested in it because it is so pretty. Now I am going to be doing uh, the presentation of or the reveal, and we'll be doing that in a little while. And Deborah, can you hear me? If you can hear, okay, I can't hear you, but that's okay because I haven't pulled you in yet. So just hang tight, okay? All right then. Okay, and Carol, how you doing? And Marissa, how are you? Carol, I'm going to be talking about that in just a little bit. I don't want to give anything away right now. I'm trying to wait patiently wait until I get a few more people in because I know everybody wants to know. But you do see a smile on my face, of course, don't you? Hi, Betty. How you doing? And Betty from Philly, how you doing? Um, Thanks for stopping by. So I have some people that are stopping by, and I do know that there's several reasons that they've stopped by. One to find out what's going on with my machine, and the other hopefully is to find out what we did with our sew along. So those are the main things that we will be talking about tonight. And like I said, I'm going to give it a few more minutes before I move into that, and I'm going to talk about the machine aspect first, and then we will do the reveal for the sew along, so you guys can see what we've done and um, ask me questions and so forth and so on. And we do intend to continue doing those type of projects, and I will talk about all of that as well. So I hope everybody had a wonderful week. I know for me, um, as I mentioned last week, I was like in the dumpster, honey. I was down out for the count. I just could not get myself together as hard as I tried. I honestly could not get my mood to flow right because I had never had my baby sick before, and it was just driving me nuts, to say the least. I was trying my best to stay positive, and I did pretty much because I really wasn't that afraid. But it's not fun when you're used to doing something and you no longer can do that. It gets to be a little nerve wracking. So I'm gonna go ahead. It's 8 minutes after, according to my clock. It's 8 minutes after, and I'm just gonna speed it up a couple of minutes. Hi, Kristen. How you doing? And go ahead and start talking about the first subject. And that first subject is whether or not my baby is fixed. And it is. My baby is fixed. My baby is fixed. And I am ecstatic. I am so glad that it really was not that big of a deal as far as fixing is concerned. To me, it was the end of the world, just about. But you know what's so interesting about it? Somebody had written something, put a comment on my channel last week about the situation that happened and mentioned that, and I don't know if that person is listening or anything. Hopefully that person is, and if so, if you can pop in and just say hi, I'd appreciate it. I think her name is Pam. But anyway, she said that the exact same thing happened to her machine, exact same thing. And she put a pretty detailed description of what happened and how she was able to fix it. And I was very appreciative of that information, but I did tell her that I was not going to manipulate or do anything to my machine because I ain't gonna break that thing. It would have been my bad luck that I would have done something wrong. And but to be perfectly honest about it, she was spot on 100%. What she had said, it was exactly what was wrong, and what I had said was exactly what was wrong when I thought more about it. And I think I had mentioned to you guys that the needle broke. I was stitching along, the needle fell out, and the tip of the needle broke. Now, you have to understand that our machine, and I'm talking about the Brother PR1055X, and I'm pretty sure most of the brothers and baby locks are pretty much the same as far as their temperament is concerned. Any small amount of thread, lint, fabric, needle point, whatever, get in the wrong spot, it will cause an issue. And that's what happened. So my technician did come, and I know Marina asked me, did I get a chance to video it? Because I said I'm going to video this and everything like that. Well, I tell you, I didn't get a chance to video anything. And you know why? It was done. He fixed that thing so fast. It was done like that, which I had pretty much said. I said it would not surprise me if he comes and in 2 minutes it's fixed, because obviously he knows what he's doing. And when I had told him what had happened and everything, he kind of made me feel like he knew what the problem was and he didn't think it was a big deal, because I was saying, if there's a part and do you have a part, because I want it fixed and don't have to be getting a part and this, that, and the other. And he told me, so I don't think we're going to need a part, but if we do, I got them, and so forth and so on. So obviously we did not need a part. So exactly what happened. The needle broke. The tip of the needle we never did find. Even when he fixed it, we never did find the tip of the needle. But he's pretty sure the tip of the needle got caught down in the bobbin area. There's layers that you can't get to without taking it apart, that you could potentially get something caught in there. Because I brushed and I vacuumed and I knocked around and all kinds of stuff to try to see if I could move whatever it was. Because again, I was thinking that that tip of the needle was in there somewhere. And sure enough, what he ended up doing was taking the covering off of the bobbin area, he stripped it down. And matter of fact, he stripped down my whole machine. My whole machine was naked. Anyway, he stripped that part down and he lubricated that area. And then, because he is able to put in codes and get to stuff that we can't get to, he had turned the machine on and pushed some buttons and did some codes and stuff. And he was able to turn that back wheel. And turning the back wheel, he just kept turning the back wheel. Like I said, he lubricated that area and kept turning the back wheel. And he said by him lubricating it and turning the back wheel, whatever had gotten stuck up under there came out. Because we didn't see it. He didn't see it. We didn't hear it fall. None of that. But it came out because obviously he did stitch and make sure that everything was working and all of that. So that's all it was. But you would have thought the thing had broken, torn up, and fell on the floor with that ridiculous, loud, scary noise that it made. The error warning sign warning came up on the screen telling you basically not to do anything else. And the number 7, because it was the number 7 needle, the number 7 bar, the lever that goes up and down, stuck in the down position. Even though the bar itself wasn't down, it was down. And the wheel in the back would not turn. So you couldn't turn the wheel in the back, you couldn't move the bar up and down, and you couldn't move the needle bar itself up and down. It was just stuck. It was frozen. It would not move. There was nothing that I could do. And when I turned the machine on, because I turned the machine off, just hit the switch and turned it off, thinking it would reset itself, because it's a computer and sometimes that works. Turn it back on, it grind and made that noise. I turned it off. So then I say, okay, unplug it, because when you unplug it and plug it back in, it's got to do the entire recalibration and all of that. And I'm saying, well, maybe that'll get it. I did that, turned it back on, and it made that crazy noise again. That didn't work, so I was done. I said, I'm not doing anything else because I'm not breaking my machine. And he's told me that that was the exact perfect thing to do. So I have a list of things that I learned from him that I want to tell you guys about, and the do's and the don'ts and what have you. And the main thing that he did tell me is, do not force your machine ever. If it ever locks up and freeze, then don't force it. If you don't have a technician that you can call that you can walk you through it or come and look at it, then he highly advises you to take it in, because you don't want to void your warranty if it's still under warranty, or you don't want to make it worse than what it was, because he told me, had I tinkered around with it as had been suggested how to fix it, and I didn't do it correctly, I could have made it worse than what it was. Then he would have had to do a double thing, because he would have to figure out um, how to fix what I messed up, and then go back and fix what the original problem was, which would have made it a lot more laborious, and may have even caused some type of damage where there would have been a need for a part. So there was no part needed. It took him all of 2 minutes max, and the only reason it took 2 minutes, if that, was to take the screws and stuff out to take the thing apart, and the machine was fixed. It was fixed. So that's what happened. But he did do a full maintenance on it. So that part was good, because it was coming up time for full maintenance. I think the maintenance was due for next month. So I'm glad of that. So I have written down a list, 10 points that I definitely want to let you guys know about, based upon what uh, the technician told me. His name is Justin, Justin. His company is Sewtech, 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 and he services DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Now, he has been known to go further out, so that's not like to say he couldn't go somewhere else, but DC, Maryland, and Virginia is his place where he goes. And I'm going to, before I get off of here, put his phone number up. So anybody that's in that area, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, that is interested in making contact with him to maintenance your machine, repair your machine, or whatever, then you can do so. And he does work on multi different machines, single needle machines, surgery machines, and 10 needle or multi needle machines. He has worked on Melcos, Genomas, um, Vacomas, you name it, he's done it. So he's well trained on various different brands, and he has over 15 years of tech experience, and he has been trained from the company for all these different machines. So that's my hat off to him. His name is Justin Lucas. And anyway, so let me number one, and most of this is because I'm talking about the Brother 10 needle machine, because that's what I'm used to, and that's what he was working on, and that's what we talked about. I can't address any other brand besides the Brother and the Baby Lock. If you have a different brand, and you're interested in getting information, when I give you the phone number, if you want to call them, talk to them, or whatever, of course, feel free to do that. But just keep in mind, what I'm talking about is definitely pertaining to the Brother and the Baby Lock. Now, we've been told to oil the white felt that's at the top of the needle bar on your 10 needle machine. When you can pull your bar down so far, and you can see a piece of felt that goes around, and we were told to put a drop of oil there. Now, I can't remember where or whom told me that, and it may or may not be in the manual. However, Justin says that that's a no-no. And if you, I'm gonna tell you why, and it makes perfect sense. He says if you keep putting oil on there, first of all, if you put too much oil on there, it's going to drip down on your project, which is not a good thing. Secondly, if you keep putting oil on it too much, it can turn into like a sponge, and it will eventually disintegrate. He said the purpose of the felt, and he showed me the bars because he took all of the plastic off of this machine. The machine was totally naked. I could see all of the mechanism and the circuit boards and the wires and the everything inside. And he showed me the bars, and that's the front thing. When you take that front panel off, you see all the bars. That's where he oils in several different places, and it's felts in several different places. He said and he didn't oil those felts. He oiled the bars. He said the felts are for noise um, elimination, to decrease the noise, because when it hits together, it's hitting on the felt, so it makes the noise less. So if you disintegrate that felt, you're going to have more noise. One, number two, you're going to have metal hitting on metal, hitting on metal, and you can eventually, over time, cause an issue with the needle bar where it may or may not end up having to be replaced. So his recommendation is you do not have, because I asked him, how often? He said, do not oil your white felt. So that's news to me, but that was his recommendation. Number two, bobbin case. That's the case that you put your bobbin in, and then you stick it into the bobbin um, arm. I had a generic bobbin case because my brother bobbin case, in my opinion, tension was off. So I bought new ones. I didn't buy brothers. I bought these off of Amazon. I did take my machine in last year, and I specifically asked the technician if they were okay, and he told me yes. And I've been using them. I can't say if I have not had issues, because I have had some issues where I had gotten some loops and different things, and I attributed those sort of issues to needles and what have you. Could have been my bobbin, because he said you need to use the genuine brother bobbin, because the bobbin itself has a special curve, and it has a purpose because of the way the bobbin turns. And with the one that I had, and it had the little curly thing that goes around, he said that's totally wrong. And you don't want the straight one, and you don't want the ones with the curl. You want the one that's kind of like a curve, a concave, that is brother. And he recommends that you have a spare just in case something does happen. He also says, as we probably know, I know I've mentioned it before, that and this is number three, bobbin tensions, well, you can take care, you can clean your bobbin out. And he recommends you use a business card, and you just kind of slide up under that little tension area where you put your thread through. Just slide that business card up under there to get the lint out. And he said if you do that, you should not have to mess with the tension at all. And he recommends that you don't, because if you screw it too tight, you can change the shape of that curved metal that's on your bobbin, where you're not going to get the proper tension. So you're going to have issues, and you're going to end up wanting a new bobbin anyway. Now, he knows how to repair the bobbin, not a big deal, but he knows how to fix that. So, whereas you don't have to buy a new one because he fixed mine and he put it in, it's working fine. And told me don't use those generic ones that I got from Amazon, which I'm not going to anymore. I'm going to go ahead and order me another genuine Brother Bobbin, which costs around anywhere between $25 to $30 for one. They're not cheap, but at least you'll have two. And so the other thing he mentioned about tension of the bobbin, don't be switching out your bobbins threads. I use magnetic bobbin thread, practically 100%. The only time I use a different bobbin that's not um, magnetic is when I'm doing freestanding lace and I'm matching my thread, top thread and bottom thread. That's the only time I don't do it. And um, I think I'm going to try to use one of those empty ones and see if I can wind it. I don't know. I don't do very well with winding bobbins for some reason, and but you can buy them already, different color threads that are already wound. So that's what I've been leading myself to. But that's the only time I'm using a bobbin that is not magnetic. Now, what he said that if you do use different bobbins, then you need to have a different bobbin case because your bobbin case gets used to that one bobbin, and that's where that tension is going to be fine. If you keep putting different bobbins into that same case, then you can throw off the tension. So if you use a lot of different bobbins, which he recommends that you don't, but if you do use a non-magnetic for freestanding lace or something like that, then just have you a separate bobbin case that you use for that, and then your routine black and white, which is what I have, black and white magnetic bobbins, then that goes into one bobbin case. Hopefully that makes sense. But he says that's the best way to make sure that your bobbin tension is going to stay good and you don't have to worry about trying to adjust with the little screw and stuff because we've all been told you can get this the little bit of screwdriver and twist it and so forth and so on. They even put one in your case, so they tell you to do it, but he, with his experience, says that he doesn't think that that's a good idea, that does not um, lend itself to good tension with your bobbin. Now, number 4, your top thread tension, which a lot of people have the question about adjusting the tension on the top. Should you do it? When to do it? How to do it? And so forth and so on. Different fabric weights and all of that kind of stuff. What he told me was if for some reason you feel the need that you need to adjust the tension, which he says should not be often, don't stand up and look down when you're adjusting it because you need to sit down and look straight ahead at the tops, depending upon how short you are. But you need to have it at eye level because he recommends that you don't, and I don't know if you guys ever paid any attention, but there are lines on those tensions at the top. He said it should only be 2 showing. Anything more than 2 could be too loose. It definitely should not be more than 3. And he screwed it up where if you can have it so loose that you see red, he said that's way too loose. So you should never have that. But he recommends that it should stay at two lines. So that was extremely helpful to me because I had no clue how to do it, what to do, or what to look for. So now, if for some reason you want to tinker with it or adjust it, because, you know, everything with the vibration of the machine and stuff like that can get all kilter. And if you notice that your top bobbin is not working the way you think it should be for that particular thread, needle, whatever, and you look at it and it's not at those two lines, then you can adjust it where you only see two lines. So hopefully that makes sense. It made sense to me because he showed me. I'm hoping it makes sense to you. Maybe I'll actually visually show you these things on another video, but I just wanted to pass this while it was still fresh in my mind so I don't forget. So that was number 4. Number 5, frozen or stuck machine, which is what happened to me. My machine got stuck. That's what happened. It got stuck because something was in it. But he did mention to me, if you do not maintain your machine on a schedule, and or you don't use it often, you do set yourself up for the possibility of your machine eventually getting stuck when you're using it. Now, what he said is that um, we have to oil it, and I'm going to talk about that part as well. Got some good information on that. But we have to oil the bobbin part, but we don't oil anything else because we can't reach anything else. But the machine has to be oiled because when he took all the covering off and I saw the guts, he went in there and he oiled up the bars. He oiled up it's all kinds of different stuff up in there that he was putting oil on. So your machine does get oiled. It doesn't not get oil. It's a machine. It's mechanics. Stuff is moving. You need to keep it lubricated. So his suggestion is if you use your machine every day, then you need to get it maintained once a year. If you use your machine every day, or at least 2 or 3 times a day, and you're doing full stitching, you need to have it maintained once a year. He said if you're not using it every day, you're using it every other week or something like that, then you can stretch it out to a year and a half. But he said no more than a year and a half. And the reason for that is because it needs to get oiled. It can sit up and dry and lead to the potential of getting stuck. Makes sense to me. Perfect example, he gave the analogy of a car. When you don't maintain the oil in your car, you have to keep the oil in your car. They check the oil, make sure you got plenty of oil in it and everything. If you drive your car and it doesn't have oil in it, your motor can lock up and you end up needing a whole new engine. Same concept. You got to keep it oiled. So keep in mind that you need to get it done every year or every year and a half, depending upon usage. And he also recommends that you don't go a long period of time not using your machine. Now, I know some people have machines and they don't use them for whatever reason that may be. But he says that you need to fire that puppy up and stitch out something, if it's not anything but an alphabet or something, at least every 2 weeks, no less. You need to be doing something with your machine every other week. Something. Doesn't have to be a big drawn out project or multiple projects or anything like that, but he just recommends that you use that machine because if you don't, then you can get the lockup. And that includes. So I went 5 and 6, the maintenance frequency. I told you about that. So number 7, I asked him this question because I had noticed that I was having difficulty with my USB port connecting when I put it into the LCD panel to pull up my designs. And Two things he said. The first thing he said scared me half to death because he said that the USB port is connected to the board that's in your LCD panel. So if your port goes bad, you need a whole new expensive panel. So you got to take care of that. So what he suggested is that you get I think they're called dongles, but you put in um, a USB port that's going to stay there. And then it has another part where you're actually putting in and taking out, putting in and taking out the USB drive or stick that you're going back and forth. But you keep one in there at all time, and it's constantly coming in and out. Hopefully that makes sense. He says don't get the long dangling thing because you don't want the weight on that because that can damage it too. But I don't know if anybody noticed because I did not notice. If you look behind your LCD panel, it's two things. One points up, one points down, just like on the vacuum cleaner where you wrap your cord around, where there's one of those things that you can wrap the cord around for your dongle or your USB extender, however you want to call it. So he recommends that you get that and you use that. Number 8, I asked him this question. I was asking all kinds of questions. I'm going to get the best I can out of him while he's here. So I asked him about tricking your machine. You know, we've talked about tricking a machine for your cap so you can bring the brim down closer. I mean, the design down closer to the brim, and the Gentech cap frame has this thing, and then somebody else used a paper clip and what have you, what have you. Of course, he said don't do that, which I had said I wasn't going to do that anyway. But his rationale for that is that if you trick the machine or you continuously do that and trick your machine, you can get the whole calibration off, and it's not going to properly read your your hoops. For those of you that are using Brother hoops, I don't use the Brother hoops, so it doesn't read my hoops anyway. But I don't want to get my machine all discalibrated because I do use Brother cap frame. I do use my Brother magnetic sash. I do use what else? Brother. It's another Brother um, hoop that I use. I can't remember what it is, but anyway, those things I do use, and I wanted to be able to read that. But he says, don't trick your machine. That is not a good idea, which I had already said I wasn't going to do it anyway. But that's his recommendation. Now, oiling your bobbin. Number 9. He said he gets this question all the time. Exactly where in the world do you oil your bobbin? Because you know how that little diagram shows you to go on the side and you put the oil there. He said any of those places is fine, but he said that's not really um, a true depiction of where it needs to be oiled. He said if you oil it down at the bottom lip on in the front, in where the two layers come. And if you ever paid any attention to your bobbin, when it turns, it's one part that is stationary and one part that moves. He said if you put it where that one that doesn't move, put the drop right there, you've hit the money on the head. The money on the head, the nail on the head, you hit it. He said, and it's easier to go from the front. And he said, that's all you got to do. You don't have to worry about hitting the right spot on the side and all of that. He said that is absolutely unnecessary to do. And the last thing is number 10, which I kind of alluded to that throughout. Do not force the machine. If the machine freezes up, let it stay frozen. Don't try to make that wheel turn or move something or whatever. He said you can make it worse than what it is. You need professional help, even if it's just a phone call. So do not force your machine. It stopped for a reason. You got the warning message for a reason. That's the safety mechanism that brother has put in and baby lock has put in so you won't ruin your machine. So do not try to force it to do something. If it freezes, stop, whatever, call, get help, get some advice, do something. YouTube can be okay if you're comfortable with that. But me personally, since I've met Mr. Justin Lucas, he would be the one that I would be calling. And um, he said it is perfectly fine for me to call him and ask him questions. So I'm sure if any of you guys decide to use him, he will tell you the exact same thing. So that's the takeaway that I got from my repair guy. Very knowledgeable, very friendly, on time. Uh, he charged me the quote that he gave me. No surprises. And on top of that, my needle threader on my SE 1900 wasn't working, and he took care of that for me too. And again, lickety split. I mean, he had that thing fixed before I could look over there to see what he was doing. He had the darn thing fixed. I said, Lord, this man, he he came in here and he unscrewed this and unscrewed that, and put it here and put it there, and took this and loose and took it so fast. He was threading the lever and threading. I mean, he did because he does it every day, all day long. So he can do all that stuff so fast where it takes me forever to do it. He does it. I mean, he's in and out. And he came early, which was also good. And it did take him hardly any time to do what he had to do. He came in with all of the equipment that he needed. It wasn't a lot. And he vacuumed it out, blew it out real good, oiled it up real good, and did what he was supposed to do. And that was it. And so now my machine is working. And he did the tension tests to make sure that everything was, the tension was correct and all of that stuff. And the fact that it's been serviced. So I am good for a year. So that is my story about my tin needle. And she is doing fine. And Carol, you said great information. Thank you. I appreciate it. And yes, I call mine a pigtail for the USB extension. And the thing that I was trying to say about the bob and the little curly thing, they call them pigtails as well. So I know exactly what you're talking about. So I just wanted to share that information with you guys. Hopefully, it is useful, especially for any of you that have the Brother PR 1055 or 1050 and the baby lock, because the information is the same. And he said most multi-needle machines are the same. He said it's well, not really. He said there are differences, but the concept is the same. So, that's what make it easy for him to be able to fix multiple different machines, brands and what have you. So, just wanted to share that part with you. So, that is where I am with the machine. Now, I have ladies waiting on me because we are going to do our reveal now. We're going to do, you guys know that we've been doing sew alongs. We just completed our second sew along last last Wednesday was our last day. And everybody is done. And so we're going to go ahead and show you our project. So I have, and I got to get my phone because I had listed who I was going to go first, and I want to follow that order. And the first person that I'm going to bring up is going to be Taisha, and she did her table runner. And let me pull this up right quick because I want to make sure. And of course, you never find anything when you want to find it. Anyway, I think I remember. So I'm going to pull Taisha up first and let her show you what she did. And before I do that, J.E., thank you for sharing. Let me put this up right quick. Thank you for sharing this very useful information. I particularly like the idea of using a different bobbin case. For the rare occasion, I would be using my own hand-woven bobbin. Okay, thank you so much. I do appreciate it, and I'm glad that I was able to share something that is of value. So now I'm going to add Taisha to the stage.
Hi. Oh, I guess I need to bring it down some so you can see. I did the bunny table runner, and I was surprised I was the first person since I was the last one to finish since I was sick, but I'm glad I was able to complete my project. But I did the bunny table runner, and this is my first 2 panels. And so this is my middle panel. Can you see it?
Yes, we see it very well. Thank you.
This is the end panel.
Okay. Very, very pretty. Very, very pretty.
And the back, I did a solid 1 panel to it. So it wasn't difficult at all. It was very easy. It's just that I got sick doing making it, and it took like 2 weeks. I couldn't do anything at all, but I'm glad I was able to finish it. I love doing the sew-alongs because you do get to finish and get to see what other people, what designs they do. Even though we stitch the same thing sometimes, the outcome is totally different. So that's one of the things that I really like about doing the sew-along.
All righty. Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm going to bring Deborah up to the stage. And she's been patiently waiting.
Hello. Alrighty. Mine was called Fresh Lemons. And this is a picture of it. This is the first panel. Then you go on to Lemonade. And then here we are. A couple of them repeat. And then this is the last panel. And I really enjoyed doing this one. The back, I used it's like a blue and white check background, something like a gingham. And then the back is the same.
Very pretty.
Okay. I did do stitch in a ditch on it. I also, instead of doing the wraparound technique, I actually added my own binding around it. A yellow binding that I put all the way around it.
Very pretty.
I really enjoyed it. It came out really nice, and I'm looking forward to using it this spring and summer in my dining room. So this is my Fresh Lemon table runner. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next person. Let me take Deborah. Wait, hold up. Let me take Deborah off. No, here we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, Robin, you're on.
Oh, okay. I did the gnome table runner.
A little bit slower so we can see the panels. Because they are beautiful. We want to get all of it. There you go. They are so pretty, so vibrant. The colors are, hold it up just a little bit higher. There you go. So everybody can see everything. And Gnome Sweet Gnome, all of her panels are different gnomes. And as you guys can see, we all, well, most of us all did different designs, but they're all quilted patterns.
And
I was trying to take me off for some reason.
I haven't finished, but I have 10 more hoopings. But this is the Missouri Star Table Runner.
Now
and
that's
I'm
pretty.
doing the end-to-end quilting.
Oh, that I love the quilting that you have. And is that what is it called? Tarpunto?
No, it's this is just serpentine feathers. It's designs by Juju.
Oh,
It's probably because it's got this insel bright batting and then this regular batting.
Okay.
So it's thicker.
It's
but
thicker.
That's how the quilting came out.
That's gorgeous. It looks like they're tarpunto.
Oh yeah. But
a little bit.
So that was my one that I'm not quite finished, but I was trying to get it done today and I just couldn't get it all done.
Now let me tell you guys about Robin. Now Robin hurt her hand. She cut her finger. And here she is, finished one and half and more than half done with another. She does that to us all the time.
Well, and I have a lot of fun quilting with this group. It's just a great bunch of friends. We have a great time.
We're always laughing and joking and having a good time. So now I'm going to take you off.
Okay.
I'm going to bring in Leslie. Let me get Robin off first.
All right, I'll leave.
Okay, there we go, Leslie. You're on. Can't hear you. You're muted. Let me see.
I see. All right.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I did a table runner, the designs by Juju. I don't know if you can see.
We can see it. It's beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, the He is Risen. So I don't know if I can stand back a little bit more.
That is so
right. So it took a number of hoopings and everything. I was a little slow on this because I don't know. The stitching, I didn't get it close enough, and then I went back. Like these two, the lilies on each side were different, so you had to hoop, and I wasn't paying attention, and I did one of these twice, so I had to go back and do another one. The same with the doves. You see that how they're facing different ways, so you had to pay attention to which one you were doing. So it wasn't. I only had to do that one over again, and I said, "Oh, I'll use the little part, this panel to make like maybe just a little something like this, a little window hanging or something like that." And on the back, I just did like rainbow Easter fabric that I had in my stash. Most of all this stuff comes from my stash. I've gone to Joanne so many different times saying, "Oh, let me get this fabric, just a yard of this or a yard of that." So that's what I did. So most of this, I didn't have to go and buy anything at all. It was just from all the materials that I had and the fabric. So
it's gorgeous. I love that rainbow back. Did you do Stitch in the Ditch? No,
I did Stitch in the Ditch, and I also I tried doing the steamer seam for the binding, and I only did it for one, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So I gave up on that, and I just did, I stitched it and then I folded it over just to cover it. I didn't do the actual, the original seam, binding. So I just did whatever I could because I didn't want to take too long and fuss around with it. But it was really nice. And as Robin said, and everybody else, just doing these projects with everybody in this group makes me finish a whole lot more of the stuff that I, do. And, I know when I did the, the Christmas tree skirt, and let me get over here so you can see. When I was doing the Christmas tree skirt and all the members of the group, my machine didn't have but X amount of hours on it because I was kind of afraid to use it. And, I didn't have the encouragement to say, oh, okay, put a little bit more hours on this. So I'm up in my hours. I'm almost at 100 hours. So, it's not even that much and stuff. But it encouraged me because I started doing those Easter baskets, that you get from Five and Below. So it encouraged me to do a whole lot more on my machine, and I'm grateful for the meeting of this group and the friends that we made. And I want to thank Marina for her gift that she gave us or sent to us. I received mine this weekend, and I really am thankful and grateful for, her thinking of us as a group and sending, those little goodies our way. So I appreciate it. And you, Miss Shirley, too. Meeting you at the Sewing Expo here in Virginia, and Jeanette and everybody. So it's been to me, it's a blessing to have a group where we can go online and we're each in our homes and we're, talking to everybody and getting advice on different things. So,
on Zoom.
On Zoom, yes. The Zoom meetings and everything. I have friends that say, hey, I want to join. How are you getting, and I kind of think now with things the way they are, Joanne's and everything like that, and not having classes in person some places, it's a way to continue on to sew, and get the knowledge from people, other sewists like ourselves. So thank you, Miss Shirley.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm bringing on Becky.
All right. Well, here's mine.
Okay.
The Halloween one. I always want to be different.
You're not going. All of them have been different so far.
Yeah. And I took all of this is from my scrap. Also, I wasn't from any. I didn't go buy anything. In fact, my witch's hat. Let's see, where is it? Here, the witch's hat. You can kind of see it has just a little bit of directions to it. I used no-show mesh because I wanted to have a little bit of something to it because I didn't have anything. So I just used what I had. And the witches and the eyes are the same thing. I used a little bit of it. And so when you look at it, it has a little bit of gleam to it. And I didn't do the binding like everybody else. I just folded mine over and just sewed it and did the mitered corners, and the back is the same thing as what they all is, just a bunch of different prints. A lot of this is just stuff that I got at a garage sale for free. So I took it all and made it.
Really cute. Really cute.
It is cute. It is really cute. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this an awful lot. I tell you, this is something I hadn't normally done. So this has been fun.
Good. Yeah. So, okay, let me take you off. So it's back to me. Now, I am going to two other people that did the table runners, unfortunately, aren't going to be able to show tonight, but they did send me their they did send me their pictures of what they did. And so, as it says, participant unable to go live. Marina, unfortunately, is not on tonight. Fortunate for her, though, they're looking for a new home and they think they found one. So she had to rush and take care of that with her husband. And so she sent me a picture of her runner, and because she couldn't come on tonight. And then also Val had to work, and so she was unable to come in, and she sent me pictures of her runner as well. So the first one is going to be Marina, and I wish that I could make it bigger, bigger, bigger. Nah, didn't work. But anyway, hers is a Christmas runner, and the picture does not do it justice at all, because we've all shown each other our runner live on the Zoom. So we did get a chance to see what everybody's runner looks like, and talked about it and so forth and so on. So we know exactly what it looks like, and she's got I believe metallic thread and everything, and so the two ends are candles, and then of course you have the ornament inside and the poinsettias on the side, and then you have the love and peace and so forth and so on. So it is really, really pretty. And she did the fold over and miter corner as well. And according to the pattern that we all use the pattern from Design by Juju, and it recommends that you do the fold over. Now, some people did the fold over, and some people actually did the binding. They just put their own binding on. So we kind of do what we want to do, how we want to do it to get it done. So that is Marina's her table run. So the next one is Val. Now, I have to tell you before I pull it up, Val took a picture. She wasn't feeling well. She had to work. She came in and she rushed to get me a picture because everybody was supposed to be coming on. And so at the last minute, things changed. So she took a picture right quick and sent it to me. And she had it sitting on her machine or something. But anyway, I had to try to crop it because I didn't want all the noise in the background, different stuff. And it's not showing the beauty of it because we've seen it and it is really, really pretty. But I just wanted to let you guys know that because it's a very beautiful table runner. Hers is a Valentine table runner, and all of they're big, beautiful red hearts with the white inside, and the bottom rows on both are hearts all the way across. And so that is Val's table runner that she did. And the thing that's really great about that, Val had not done one before. So she was using her brand new 15 needle Racoma machine and doing a project that she had not done before. So she was able to get it all done and put together and looking very, very nice. And like I said, the picture does not give justice to what the runner itself actually looks like. And I really wish that Val, as well as Marina, was able to show theirs online live like everybody else, so you could actually get a chance to see the true beauty of their runners. So I am going to, okay, there we go. So I'm last. Yes, I did do a runner. I did the same runner that Taisha and I decided that we were going to do the Easter Bunny runner. And I can't see, so hopefully you guys can see. And as she was saying, even though they're alike, they're different because we're using different color materials and what have you. and all of the appliques and all of that. So this is my Easter bunny. And I wanted to point out one in particular that I really like. It came out so well. Where are you? The basket. Where's the one that's got the basket? Oh, here it is. That fabric to me looks just like a basket. I thought that was so cute. That basket. And so this is mine. And I did the back, I did the stitch in the ditch, and this is the fabric that I used. It doesn't show that well on here, but it's pink. And I did not do the miter corner because I hadn't figured out how to do that, but I did do the fold over. And I just kind of did it the old fashioned way, how I'm used to doing it. But that's it. And me, with my crazy behind, before my baby got sick, I had planned well, I didn't plan. I was doing table runners to go with I was doing placemats to go with my table runner. And I only managed to get one just about done. I haven't even put the back on it yet. And that's what I was working on. So this is what the cute little placemat is going to look like. And all of these little bitty pieces that you had to cut out. Oh my goodness gracious. Just look at this one here with the pennants and the Easter eggs and all of that stuff. And I had to cut out all of that stuff. So I'm still working on mine. My plan was to have had my placemats done along with the table runner and would have had it done if the machine didn't stop on me, because that's exactly what I was working on when it did stop on me. But I'll go ahead and get that done, get it finished before Easter. And I'll have my Easter table runner with my Easter placemats. So that's what we have all done for this particular sew along. So this is our second sew along that we've done as a group. Now, we are open. It's not just us, because right now it's about 9 of us that routinely does it. And we grew. We picked up 2 new people this time. We lost a couple of people and we picked up 2 new people, put it that way. So we're open to grow. And I always tell everybody, if you're interested and you want to become part of our I call it the Sewcial Society Crew Sew Along group. If you want to become part of that, just let me know, because we are open to bring you into the fold. You met several of us. This is what we do. You heard people say how we get along, how we laugh, how we share. That's the most important thing, is the sharing and the growth and the learning, because we all share tips and information with each other, and how to do this and how to do that, and try this, try that. And not only do we talk about the project that we're doing, we talk about other things that we do as far as crafting or embroidery. We talk about our other embroidery projects that we're doing and get tips on how to do that, and products to buy, notions to buy, and just share information. So that's what makes it so good that we do this as a group. So we're developing friendships and camaraderie where we really do, as far as I'm concerned, and I think most of everybody is, we look forward to the meetings. And when we have our little break, like we have our little break right now, I'm kind of like, I'm ready to get back into the saddle because I want to see the girls again. And so what we have done for the past 2 sew-alongs is we have met on a Wednesday night. We've started at 7, Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. And our schedule is from 7 to 9, but I don't think we've ever done it 7 to 9. We go 7 to whenever. Because some people have to come in late because they work and travel and cook dinner, eat, and all of the different things that go along with it. And then you come on in when you're available, and then we get to stitching and get to talking and get to sharing and all of that kind of stuff. And so our next sew along is going to start on the 3rd of April, 7 p.m. And we're moving into a little quilting now. We all decided to do quilted totes. Now, I don't know if all of us are doing the June Taylor, but I think most of us are doing some type of June Taylor quilt, tote, quilted tote. And if you don't know what June Taylor is, which I didn't, they do the what is it? Somebody help me out. The quilt as you go. Quilt as you go process. And the totes that I think most of the pattern totes that I think most of us have bought are numbered, so you know where to put your next strip of cloth or piece of cloth or whatever it is that you're doing. And so this is what we're going to be doing starting April the 3rd. Now we've carved it out where it shouldn't take us more than 3 weeks, maybe 4 at the max. But if we need a little bit more time, we always tack on a little bit more time just in case, because we don't like to rush anybody, because we know things happen and sometimes you don't get done when you think you're going to get done. And but that's what we're planning on doing for our next one. So it's going to be a little short one, and then we'll be moving into perhaps a longer one. But we vote on it, we talk about it, we discuss, and we all as a group decide what our next project is going to be. So I'm kind of like the preacher at the church. The door is open. The door of the sew along is open. Anybody that's interested in it, that's able to participate, and you want to, the only thing you have to do is let me know. I need you can go onto my community page and or drop a comment on my channel, or you can put the information in here now while we are, and just let me know that you're interested in it. Then I'll reach out to you. I will need your email address. Don't put it on here, because we don't want the world to get all your personal information. We do this stuff privately, so nobody's getting anybody's personal information. But if you're going to participate, I do need your email and your phone number so we can keep up with each other and all of that stuff. But like I said, we do all of that stuff offline. I just need to know that you're interested in it and you want to do it with us as a group. If you want to join us and participate and just become part of the team, part of the group, part of the fun. Because we do have fun. In all honesty, we do have a lot of fun. We laugh, we talk, we do all of that. We have been on there to, I think the latest we were on there was like 1 o'clock in the morning, I believe. So I know we've been on pretty late sometimes, and we're just working. Somebody else is working on whatever they're doing, and we hang in there to try to keep them company, and or either we're talking about something that we're not ready to cut the conversation off, and so that's what we do. But again, April the 3rd will be the beginning of our next sew along. We wanted to wait until after Easter so everybody can celebrate the holiday and we can start off fresh the beginning of the month and go until the 17th, I think is what we had said would be our finish time. But if for some reason we have to go a week or so longer, we are definitely willing to do that. But we do, we are open for other people to join us if they want to. So now I'm going to look and see if there's anything that I missed while we were talking about that. Okay, Carol said adorable. Deborah said that's very colorful and beautiful. You love it. Betty, you're talking about Deborah. And Simone, hi Simone, how are you? And thank you. The projects are so beautiful. Robin says it's gorgeous. Everybody is just loving everybody's stuff. And like I said, everybody did really, really well. Beverly, hi, how are you? Beverly Langham. And she says she likes how the writing is done. And okay, J.E. I am interested in joining the next so alone. Looking forward to trying out something new. That sounds great. Perfect. I will reach out to you in a little bit, and we can go from there. So we'll be adding a person to it. So keep in mind, it does start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hopefully that works for you. And like I said, we go, and you don't have to stay the whole time. There are people that drop off. We all drop off at different times based upon what our time permits. Some people come in late, some people come in on time, some people leave early, some people stay until the bitter end, all of that. So this is we're very flexible. We're very flexible. We don't have any stringent rules. We do like for everybody to complete their project. You don't have to, but we do encourage you to complete your project so we can show it off. And most importantly, we're here to help if anybody's having any difficulty with it. That's the goal. If you pick out a project like me, I'm not a quilter. I don't know diddly squat about quilting. You hear me? So this quilting project is going to be a challenge for me because I don't know anything about quilting. Just like I didn't miter the corners on my table runner because I'm still not good at that. I definitely want to get my corners mitered on my placemat, so I'm going to be reaching out to get some help with that. But that's the whole purpose of doing it because we're here to learn. We're here to improve our skills. And as you can see, it's not all 100% embroidery. That's what we do mostly, but we're expanding and we're branching out. And I think we're becoming the scan and cut crew as well, because I think most of us have or are getting scanning cuts. Whatever model you may have, I think quite a few of us either have a scanning cut or we're getting a scanning cut. And I finally got my scanning cut last week before last. And no, I have not done anything with my scanning cut except for I made the little project that comes with it to make sure the machine is working. So that's all I've pretty much done because, like I said, coming into my studio last week, because I went 10 whole days. You hear me? 10 days. Yesterday actually was the 10th day. And that I was without my baby. And I just could not. I did some sublimation, and that was all I managed to get done. Every time I would come in here and was thinking about doing this, doing that, whatever, something else would come up, something else would come in my mind, and I just could not pull myself together to actually stitch. I put the embroidery arm on my SE 1900 because I said, okay, I can go ahead and fire up my baby and start doing stuff with that. I ain't get that done either. So anyway, hopefully I'm going to be in a better mood and I will not let that bother me. James Bond 007. Now, who is that? That's fine, Robin. I have a scan and cut, but I don't use it for cutting my fabric. And because Robin says she did not have a scan and cut. And Beverly, I like to do it, but I'm in the UK, so it makes it 11 p.m. start, but still considering it. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that you are watching me from the UK and 11 p.m. to start. That's mighty late, honey, but you're welcome. If that's what you want to do, you're more than welcome. But I definitely understand. And Robin, you don't need a scan and cut. The way you cut, you're a quilter, honey. You don't need a scan and cut. That's all you do is cut. You are the scan and cut. You're gonna scan and cut. You're gonna cut your stuff out way better than we probably will with the scan and cut. Because you do that. Okay. All right. Got you, Taisha. Got you. Taisha is James Bond 007. Got you. Okay. Using her grandson's computer, and his name is showing up. And Robin says she doesn't have a scan and cut either, but she does have a Cricut maker, and you don't have to use either one of those machines to cut out your fabric. I did personally wanted the scan and cut to cut out fabric, and mainly because I wanted not only to cut out the fabric, but to also make the marking for the seams and everything. Because see, I know me, I don't cut anything straight, and I'm very bad at sewing straight. So I needed all the help I could get. So for me, having a machine cut it out to make sure it's going to be cut out the correct size straight. And then if it marks it, then that should help me be able to sew it straight as well. So my quilts will come out looking good. I don't think I'm going to have that issue with the tote because I did order some jelly roll or a jelly roll because I think one jelly roll is enough for that bag. And I wanted some African print fabric. So I went what is it? Soul Creation Lounge, and I ordered some jelly roll, African print jelly roll for the bag. So I don't think I'm going to have to cut out any fabric. And I haven't opened it. I don't know what else I need. I don't know any of that. But because I know Andrea and I were talking about that because she's going to do it too. She has her fabric and everything. So think I think most of us, I know Marina has hers, Taisha has hers, I have mine, Andrea's getting hers, and I think Deborah, if Deborah found hers, I think she has hers. So I don't know who else is still looking for any, but and JE, don't think that you have to do a June Taylor tote bag. You don't. You can make any tote bag. That's the one thing that we do. We don't dictate what if we're going to make runners, everybody makes runner, but we don't tell you what design to use or where to get your design from. It just seemed like the majority of people got the design from Designed by Juju. And I think Val got her design from Sweet Pea. And I think she was the only one that got it designed from somewhere else. But you don't have to go. We all don't have to have the same thing, is what I'm saying. You don't have to. Okay, Becky, you say you're using a Sweet Pea bag design. See, there you go. She's not going to use the June Taylor. And that is perfectly fine. We don't require that. You just make whatever makes you happy. whatever you want to make, or how easy or complicated or challenging, or however you want it to go. We just want, because you learn that way. And we can share. Again, like I said, we can share. And Deborah, you said, yes, you found your tote. So that's good. She found hers. So I think it's going to be at least 5 of us doing the same tote, which is fine. Which is fine. They're all going to look different because we're all going to have different fabric. So they're not going to be the exact same tote, regardless of whether we're using the same pattern or not. They're all going to look different. So, and so Jay, you said thank you for sharing regarding requirements for the tote bag. Much appreciated. Looking forward to doing this project. Good, good. Yeah, I just want to make sure that you're aware that we don't put any type of. We're laid back and relaxed. You'll find that out. We are very laid back and relaxed and free going, and we're here to have fun and learn. That's all. Fun and learn. Nobody's trying to be anything that's adding any stress to anybody. If anything, we're trying to eliminate and alleviate stress. Becky, that's what I already had, so I didn't buy a design. There you go. And Leslie, what are we making for our next project? Okay, Leslie, did you forget? We're making totes. We're doing the quilted totes. That's what we're doing. Several of us are doing June Taylor quilted totes, but whatever you want to do, whatever tote that you want to make, whatever design pattern that you want to get, but that's what we're going to do. And again, it's going to be starting on the 3rd of April. Okay, you stepped away to make dinner. Oh, that's fine. But I guess you forgot. We talked about that at our last meeting. You just forgot. That's all. You just forgot, because that's when we came up with the decision to do so. And I thought you were there. Well, maybe you had stepped away. I don't know. Perhaps you did, because I can't remember everything. But that's what I wanted to do. If anybody else is interested in joining, and Beverly, if you decide that you want to start join us starting at 11 o'clock at night, you're more than welcome to do that as well. And where in the UK are you? Where in the UK are you? Because it's always good to know that I have people that are watching that's not in the US. I didn't know that until I'm always looking at the analytics. So I know, looking at the analytics, that I do have a percentage of people that do watch that are not from the US, which is great to know. I have a percentage of people that watch that English is not their first language, which is also okay. Cheshire. Okay, great. Like I know where that is. England, I think. Um, yeah. Leslie, it is a sew as you go tote. It's a sew as you go quilted tote. So yes, you are correct. It is a sew as you go quilted. Okay, Chester English. Yeah, Cheshire English. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I guess I didn't open it yet, but I don't want to show you. I got my name and address and everything, and under this, I didn't open it. I guess I could open it because I can't show you the bag, because the bag got all my personal information lathered all across it. But this is what I'm making, and it's June Taylor, Alexandria tote, June Taylor, and that's what it looks like. And it is It is a quilt as you go. I think you can see it, quilt as you go. So yes, it is. And as you can see, this is the batting of it. And gosh, it's so white you can't see it. You can't see it. Oh, okay. You can see numbers on it. So it tells you where to place your strips. And this particular tote requires 22 and a half, two and a half by 42 strips. So I ordered strips, and so I'll have plenty. You can get the you can actually buy fabric. It says a quarter yard each of 6 to 10 different fabrics, or 22 and a half by 42 strips. Your binding is a quarter of a yard, and your lining fabric is 2/3 of a yard. And so that's how it is. And if you can see where over here, where it shows you how you cut it out, and then how I'm trying to read from the back part, you spray your fabric on, then you stitch it down in strips. So that's what it says. It says select and cut fabric. Select and cut fabric. Then it says spray the backing and spray the back fabric onto your binding, and then you'll sew your strips on. And it's sew by numbers. So it should be pretty simple. Should be. And you can't hardly see it. The pattern, okay, see how the pattern looks, how it's gonna do. And you got to put all those strips on there in those places, and then you put the bag together. So it looks relatively simple. Just because it looks simple doesn't mean it is simple. And it won't take very long at all, because I know we discussed that. Oh gosh, and it comes with your material for your strap as well. So that's this particular tote. You don't have to get this tote at all. June Taylor has several different totes that you can choose from. We just happened, several of us picked this one because that's the one we like, but it's not because that's the one you have to get. But that's the one that we liked. And if we stitch, it's not going to take 3 weeks to get it done, of course. But we just gave ourselves that length of time. Just, you make mistake, you got to take something to lose, or you don't like how you put your fabrics. It's just all kinds of stuff that can happen. So, if you really worked on it, you probably could get it done in a day, to be perfectly honest about it. But we're going to give ourselves a lot of time so we can spend time with each other. And Leslie, you say, quit as you go. Yeah. And you have a sew as you go towel boa bag, a towel bag. Okay. And you have a sweet pea bag pattern, which is fine. Somebody else is doing a sweet pea bag pattern as well. So that works. Becky's doing a sweet pea bag pattern. So again, as I mentioned to Jay, we're not all doing the same thing. We never do. We don't have to. You just pick whatever you're comfortable with. I wanted to do that one because it looked easy. I'm just going to be honest about it. And for my first rodeo, I wanted something that I thought that I would be successful with, that would come out cute. I didn't want to go straight up complicated right off the bat. However, I am open for complication because I also have the quilt. And I don't know when we're gonna do it because I had thought we were gonna do a quilt and we all decided to do the tote. But I'm gonna do a quilt at some point. I'm doing it so as you go quilt. And it's a small quilt. It is trying to think. Does it say what the size is? Oh yeah, when it's finished, it's 44 by 58 inches. So I like that little. It's 44 by 58-inch quilt. So it's not huge, but it's not that bad. It's about the size of my table here. So that's not a bad. That's like I think they call it a crib size quilt, which is what I was wanting. It's just big enough to get your feet wet, see what you're doing, and that one is with blocks and stuff. So I probably will be using my scan and cut to cut those things out and stuff whenever I decide to do it. But that would be, I don't know if we're going to do that as a sew along or not. Lap size quilt, okay. Is that what they call a lap size quilt? I thought it was more of a crib size. But anyway, that's also on my radar to do, but it definitely would be different. That would be a nice lap quilt. Okay, all right, that's what it is. So I'll get it. I'll get that one done. I'll get it done at some point. Don't know exactly when we're gonna get it done, or I'm gonna get it done, but it will get done. But it will be after we do the tote as a sew along, and then whatever other project that we decide to do. You use the same size batting as the baby quilt. Okay. All right. So see, I'm talking to ladies that are familiar with this, that they have done quilting before. I have not. I have not quilted. The only thing that I have quilted, I had to think about it. The other day I was trying to think. I did do a Kimber Bell pillow, which I showed the ladies um, of the sew along. And I did that, put it together, and did edge to edge stitching on it and everything. And I did do a Christmas runner a couple of years ago, a couple of Christmases ago. And so I did, I guess, edge to edge with that as well. It came out okay. It wasn't, I always get hung up with the binding. The binding I am not good at. The pillow, fine, I got that done. The Christmas runner, I and it had the pointed ends. Everything was fine. I put it all together, quilted it and stuff. It was, and I put the binding on. It just wasn't to my liking because I'm not good at that. I have to learn how to do that. And Leslie, don't fear, you will be talking like this shortly. Yeah, I'm gonna learn. I finally, I resisted quilting for a minute, and then it finally sunk in that I got to get with the program. Hmm. I got to get with the program if I'm going to be an influencer of any kind. I can't not tackle whatever comes my way, and quilting is one of them. Serging, I've done some serging, and I want to get better on serging, but I've not done any quilting. And on top of that, I have bought some fabric and patterns to actually put some garments together. So I'm kind of like Jeanette says she wanted to learn how to serge and make clothes and this, that, and the other. I'm going to be doing some of all of that. And I will be incorporating, as usual, some embroidery and most likely some rhinestone. Not necessarily any sublimation because you got to have that special fabric. Um, but as far as rhinestones and embroidery, you can do that with basically anything. So when I start doing all of these other projects, not my quilting, but my sewing and stuff like that, it will definitely most likely be including some type of embroidery as well as some type of possibly rhinestone every once in a while. And I also have a couple of vinyl projects coming up that I am interested in doing. So I'm branching out and um, spreading my wings. And talking about spreading my wings, I have definitely decided to open my Etsy shop. So that is going to be a definite. I am still struggling with a name. I want my channel name and my Etsy shop name pretty much to be the same or very similar to each other because I want all of my social media, website, channel, Etsy, all of that. I want it to be seamless where if you find me on one platform, you can find me on all the other platforms. That's what my plan is. I've been reading this book. I'm almost done. I feel like I got a lot of good information because I kind of like to know what I'm jumping into before I jump into it. So I got some really good background information about Etsy, how to run it, all the pitfalls, all of this, the that, and everything. Not to say that it's going to be 100% successful, but I'll do fine. And when is the question? I've not gotten to the when part yet because I do have some potential medical situations that I have to give an account for and get out the way before I make that commitment because I don't want to start and stop and um, potential surgery, whatever. Anyway, um, but once I get all of that kind of stuff out of the way, then that's when I intend to open up my shop. So if it's the Lord's will, my plan will be by the summer, if not earlier. And the only reason I'm saying that is because of potential surgery, what have you. But that's my plan. And I know by then I will have a name. I keep looking. I'm almost afraid. That's what it is. I see stuff that I like, and I'm almost afraid to make that commitment because I don't want to switch it again. I want to come up with a name that I like, that I know that I'm going to stick to, that represents me and what I'm about. And I've had quite a few different suggestions, recommendations, and so forth and so on, and I'm pondering them. And I'm hoping to make a decision by the end of the month as to what my new channel name will be, as well as what my potential Etsy shop name, which I'm not going to tell y'all what my Etsy shop name is going to be until I actually get ready to open up the shop. But I will be telling you obviously what my channel name is going to be once I make that decision. And it will be changing because I think that that would be for the better for my channel because I think that more and more people will find me, as I mentioned, a lot easier if I have a easier name to remember. And that's the whole purpose, to have something that is easy to remember. So people, you know, they find me once and can't remember what the name was, so they don't come back or whatever, in case they forget to do the notification and all that kind of stuff, which reminds me to put the notification thing up. As always, You know, got to get that thumbs up, y'all. Got to get that thumbs up. Don't forget that thumbs up. Got to get that thumbs up. And Leslie, you were saying some friends just returned from Ghana and purchased fabric from there. The husband wants a shirt made from his 2 yards, and the wife wants me to give her ideas for her 3 yards. Okay, are you making the shirts? Now, if she has 3 yards, she could definitely do a dress or a jumpsuit. So what is it? So Creative Lounge has those beautiful patterns, Leslie, that she definitely can perhaps get and use her 3 yards of fabric and make something really cute. The kimono jacket, I think it's should be 3 yards. I don't know. Um, Now, as far as his shirt is concerned, um, I don't do men's stuff, so you asking the wrong person. I haven't seen them with any men patterns, but it doesn't have to be them. They have patterns, of course, at Joanne. Get them before Joanne ain't there no more. I bought a pattern out of there the other day that was supposed to be a $20 pattern for $1.99. So you might recommend to them to go by Joanne and see if they can find something they like, and especially if they can get it for $1.99. Because I promise you, I didn't want to pay no 20-something for a pattern. That's for sure. So I was very happy to see that they didn't have the one that I wanted. It was out, but I did find an acceptable um, substitute because I just wanted to make a pair of jeans, and so I got the fabric for that, and I have fabric that I bought last year for a skirt, a pencil skirt, and I had the pattern for that. And then I bought at the expo, I bought fabric and pattern for their really pretty pants, kind of like a cargo pant. I bought fabric, another piece of fabric from them, but I didn't buy the pattern yet. I think I bought enough for a jumpsuit. I just didn't buy the pattern yet, so I got to get the pattern from them. And they have a point system, which I was not aware of because I bought stuff at the expo and I bought something from the other day and I didn't realize it, but you accumulate points and you get so many points, you get money off of your purchases, which is always good to save a little change. So just keep that in mind just in case you buy stuff from them. And Leslie, you say, yes, I have a few of those patterns from Soul Creative Lounge, and you have a few of the Simplicity patterns, and those are the ones that they have on sale or had on sale for $1.99. I don't know if they're still on sale or not. I was in there over the weekend when I bought mine. And I didn't stay in there long to linger and look and see all of that. So I'm sure I could find more patterns that I would like to add to my stash that I have that can keep me busy. Um, and that's what I do. So you say you've used your points on recent purchases. Okay, good. I didn't even know we had points until this last purchase. And I said, oh, okay, it's good to know. So if I need to buy more fabric, which I don't know what I'm going to make or use for the quilt. I'm thinking an African print and I'm thinking something else. So I don't know yet exactly what I'm going to use as far as fabric for the quilt. But I knew I wanted that for my bag. And I have another really cute bag pattern for the serger. that I bought a couple of years ago, and I haven't done it yet. And it's strictly for the well, not strictly for the surgery, but it's a serger uh, project, and it's really cute. Got ruffles and everything. So, and it's a tote. I want to make that, and if it's possible, I might use some of my. Nah, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm gonna have more of the jelly roll fabric than I need because you only need 20, and I think what I bought is 42. So I'm gonna have quite a bit left over. So Carol, you said garment sewing. Garment sewing scares you. I even would rather make a diaper bag than hem a pair of jeans. Hemming a pair of jeans ain't that hard, but it's a skill. It's a skill. I used to sew all the time, and I haven't sewn, especially garments, in decades. I just be honest, but it's been decades since I've sewn garments. But it's almost like riding a bike to a degree when you know the terminology. Like Leslie was saying, for me to learn the terminology of quilting, I know the terminology pretty well with sewing per se. And, you know, it kind of comes back to you and you have to take your time. The hardest part about sewing is getting the perfect fit. And if you don't have um, one of those things to hang your stuff on, whatever you call them, a dress form to hang your stuff on, is kind of difficult. Now, as far as pants are concerned, you have to just try them things on and pin them so you can kind of make sure that you're going to have, you got to make sure you cut it out big enough where you got room to take it up if you need to. So if you need to go out or come in or whatever the situation is, because for me, it's always going to be going out for the hips and the butt and coming in for the waist. That's always been my my problem with clothing or anything because I always had bigger hips and bigger boobs than I had waist. Not to say my waist is little, but in comparison to the rest of the stuff, it's smaller. And when you buy a pattern to fit your bottom part, usually it has a bigger waist than what you really need. So you got to figure out how to get that in and everything. That has always been my biggest issue, even with buying clothes and stuff like that. I've always been able to have the issue of getting the waist part taken care of. So I'm just hoping that I'm going to get the fit good on my pants. And Creative Sewing Lounge do have classes that you can take and that will help you with stuff like that. So I am considering doing that so I can hone up my sewing skill. Because once I make one or two outfits under their tutelage, I think I will feel a lot more comfortable in going out on my own. Because, like I said, I used to do it all the time, and but that's been decades ago. So it is what it is. Oh, oh, Margot, I'm so sorry to hear that. I am so sorry to hear that. But I'm glad to hear he's doing fine. Yeah, yeah, that happens to a lot of people. And a lot of times people have them, don't know that they've had them. My cousin has had a mini stroke and she's fine. There is no deformities, no, you can't look at her or hear her or tell that she's had it, but she has. But I'm glad to hear that he's doing fine, and I'm so sorry. And yeah, sending prayers to your husband and hope that his whole health situation gets back on track and he doesn't have another one. And make sure that he takes his medication like he's supposed to. Make sure he modifies his diet as they tell him to. If he smokes, stop immediately. And, if he needs to lose weight or whatever, start working on that. All of those things can help eliminate or decrease the chances of having another one. But the most important thing is no smoking, eating right, and taking the medication as prescribed. And if for some reason he may need to lose weight, lose a little weight. They always tell us we need to lose weight. So I don't care what you weigh, they're going to always tell you to lose some more. But anyway, I just hope and pray that everything goes well with him going forward. And it's a warning sign. It's a warning sign. And it's just like I tell people all the time that think of the body like you do a car. If you don't take care of your car, it's gonna break down on you. If you don't get the checkups and the oil changes and all of the stuff that you're supposed to do with your car, it's gonna break down on you. Same thing about your body. You gotta get your checkups and you got to get everything that they tell you to do done. I know I just had a boatload of blood work done on Thursday, and some of the blood work didn't come back normal. So I'm having to make some changes. I'm having to make some changes in my diet. I need to lose weight. I know that. And they put me on this ridiculous expensive medicine um, to see if things are going to turn the way they need to turn. And hopefully that's going to be it. And I ain't have to worry about what could happen going forward. So I'm speaking from personal when I speak of your husband. I know that you have to do what they tell you to do. I know when I came home, I looked up all of the potentials of what the blood work said. I asked some questions. Then I looked up what I can eat, what I can't eat. And I'll tell you what my son told me. Doctor told him. He said, if it tastes good, you can't have it. Because I was going down the list, it's like, I can't eat this, I can't eat this, I can't eat this, I can't. I was like, dang, good. I mean, just like common stuff that it ain't even unhealthy stuff. I mean, healthy stuff I can't eat. Certain fruits and stuff I can't have, and certain vegetables and stuff I can't have. And uh, I was telling my son that, and that's when he told me. He said that his doctor said it tastes good. You can't have it. So basically, eat some cardboard and go about your business. So I've been pretty much eating lettuce. I've been doing fish and salad, fish and salad, fish and salad, chicken. I can have chicken. So I switched it up to chicken and salad, chicken and fish, chicken, salad, salad, salad. So we shall see. Uh, he is a small person. Okay, he runs about 6 miles. He doesn't smoke, and he had a heart attack about 6 years ago. And I tell him to slow down. He is going on 76 years old. Well, it happens to the best of us, but at least he doesn't smoke. He seems to be fit. And so, we never ever know what is going to cause something to happen. But his history of the heart attack definitely um, can lead to other stuff, as I'm sure the doctors have told you guys and all that stuff. So he just has to do what the doctor tells him to do. Take what the doctor tells him to take. And I'm not gonna say running 6 miles a day is or is not good for him. I mean, it keeps him in shape as far as his weight and getting the proper exercise and everything like that. Is it too much? That would be something between him and the doctor and the three of you guys to determine. But I'm just glad that he's doing fine and pray that he continues to do okay. Because I tell you, when we start getting up there, I'm not there yet, but I ain't far behind. And I noticed that because I never really had any my blood tests have normally been normal. And there's only a couple of things that I already knew that was an issue that is under control. So, when I look at the results of that, as long as they're not going up, I'm cool. They've been this way for the longest. But this particular time, there were things that had not been abnormal before that are abnormal that kind of like, what's going on here? What's going on here? What? And what can we do about it? So, then I had to, I personally don't consider myself old. I don't know about the rest of the folks, but I don't consider myself old. But your body, honey, your body be saying, wait a minute, child, you old. You've been here a minute. And when I stop and think about how long I've been here a minute. Dang. But I'm still not ready to go. And I don't consider myself old. I am seasoned. Well, but seasoned. Matter of fact, and I'm going to put his number up here. Uh, Justin, I told Justin how old I was, and he said, "Oh my goodness, you look good for your age." I said, "Well, yeah, that's what I've been told, and I try to look or feel. Well, I don't feel. I feel as old as I am, but I try my best to not look my age." So I'm putting Justin's phone number in here for anybody that needs it or wants it. And I don't want to say embroidery machine technician because he does more than just embroidery machine. He told me that he does sergers and all of that stuff. So here we go. So I just put his name and his phone number and his company number in here. So anybody that is interested in writing that down is scrolling across so you all can get it. And it is the DMV. That's where he works out of, the DMV. But if you are in the DMV area and you are in need of a sewing machine, serger, embroidery machine technician that travels, that comes to you, that would be the person that I would recommend highly. Very nice, very mannerable, very pleasant to work with. I was quite pleased with him. No complaints. So just wanted to put that out there. So I just looked at the clock and it is a little after 10. And so it's getting late. And I think that I will go ahead and wrap this up for the night. And oh gosh, JE, I'm trying to remember how. Oh, I know. You email me. That's what it is. Put my email in here. I put it in. So did you get it? Okay, good. You got it. You'll send me an email. Okay, perfect. So you send me your stuff and then we'll communicate that way. And I'll get all the particulars and all that kind of stuff and we can go from there. So that's how we'll roll with that. And welcome to the group. Welcome to the group. Anybody else is interested in it, you certainly can email me. That goes for those that are watching the replay that is interested in coming along and doing the project. Just email me and we'll be fine. Oh, I guess you said you emailed me regarding the Christmas tree design. Okay. But anyway, email me in regards to this particular project, and then we will go from there. And with that being said, I am going to say good night to everybody, and please have a wonderful, safe the rest of the week. And Margot, my prayers go up for you and your husband. I hope he gets better and stays better, and we will go from there. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. Talk to you later. Good night, everybody.